our Gandy dancers here with the handcar. I can't really show you this with camera rolling because I need 3 hands, but I applied power to the wheels. This is the reversing mechanism here that is connected here to your piece that goes back and forth when it bumps into something. And when it was in this position, I actually got a short. When I moved it to this position, I got nothing. So then I went up here and put power directly to the springs. Really didn't hear anything. Then I went to the brushes and the motor tried to move, so that's good. I don't yet know. I'm gonna disassemble the motor next, clean it, inspect it some more, and lube everything. One of the challenges that I've found with these, and the couple that I've worked with, is the way they did these. They're using the chassis for part of the support of the armature. So it's basically acting as a brush, or I should say, let me rephrase that, as a bushing. And because this casting is so soft, what I've seen happen with these, and I don't yet know if that's the issue with this one, is they just get too much wear and then you get slop and the armature doesn't get held in the right position and it starts rubbing against the field or binds up somehow and you just have all sorts of problems. So anyhow, I don't know yet if that's an issue here, but that is something I'm a bit weary about. So I thought I'd give you that little bit of foreshadowing, and I would love to be wrong. So hey, maybe just some cleaning, lubrication, and away we'll go. Time will tell. Mike, I'm back with an update for you on your handcar. So let's just kind of do a couple elementary things that are important for anyone that's got these. You want to make sure that the men's arms are still flexible, because sometimes they get hard, and if that happens, it can really bind up your motion. So these appear to be pretty flexible yet, so that's a good thing. Something that's just kind of interesting, I noticed that there are light grooves on these wheels, and they seem to be just on this side, and that's fascinating to me. I believe that was a effort by A.C. Gilbert to get a little bit of traction, putting those little horizontal lines. So I thought that was fascinating and that I'd share. Something else that I don't recall from the couple of these that I've worked on having before are these brass half-cupped bushings that are resting inside here. So that's neat. They've got a wear surface that's not the chassis for the ends of the armature. But something that I found, well, just downright exciting is there's a hole in this one, and that hole actually goes all the way through to the oil location on the bottom of the chassis. It actually goes and allows the oil to get through to the armature, which I've ranted and raved several times about why they didn't do this on their Alcos. Their diesel engines, they've got an oil hole, but the oil can't get to the solid bushing that supports the armature. So that's not the case here. You've got a hole there. Now, what's kind of weird on this one is there's the hole and it's about partway open, but the sleeve, the support or wear surface, is kind of off to one side of that a little bit. Well, there's a hole in that. That hole does not line up with the oil bushing location or oil insert location. But good news is, if you put oil in there, it's still going to get to where it needs to go. Now, I think I have a couple wicks somewhere, if I can find them, that I'll put in here for you to just help keep the oil from just falling back out. The Alcos have these little, they're almost like a pipe cleaner idea. I don't know, again, that those oil holes go nowhere, so I'm not sure why they use them. But if I can find those, I'll put those in there for you. Mike, here is what my research labs kind of can look like sometimes. So this is your handcar, and this is the cover that goes with your handcar. And as I told you, when I got it, it didn't want to run. I checked the readings on the field, which is here, and the armature, which is here. and both of them show that they were out of spec so far that they didn't make a strong enough magnet anymore to actually function. They were dead. So I ordered a replacement, got those in, have triple checked them. They are good. The armature is good in spec. The field's good in spec. I have put it together, taken it apart probably 5 times. I've got my meter out. I've checked everything. Everything is doing like it's supposed to. But I can't get the armature to do much more than buzz a little bit. And so I thought, okay, fine. So I got out one of the hand cards I had, and I didn't think it worked, but I thought, you know what, let me just try. So I got it out, and it acts just like yours. It buzzes, but I can't get it to actually run. And what happens, and this is a non-reversing one, but what happens, I think, is, and I mentioned this to you earlier, is these areas where the armature shaft run, although yours has those brass inserts, but I think they just get sloppy enough that it doesn't hold the motor, armature motor, in the sweet spot that it needs to be. And these are not very strong motors to begin with, so it doesn't take much to throw them out. That's my suspicion. So I was like, okay, wait, I got another one somewhere that I think runs. So I went and found that one, this one here. And it, yeah, it doesn't even buzz. I don't know what's wrong with this other than someone used an, looks like an Alco brush replacement on it. So it's got all kinds of problems. So that one doesn't do anything. Then I was like, wait, there's one more. And what do you know? I didn't realize this, but the other one I got, I've had for a couple years, and to be honest with you, never even mess with it. And here it is, a reversing one like yours. So I was like, oh, well, that's handy. And so I turned my transformer on, gave it some power, and it's like, hey, I had some lubrication. But then I looked at the reversing switch, which I guess you don't know this because you're not in front of them. But so these reversing switches, like this, have 2 positions. Well, they're 3 positions. So you've got a forward and a backwards, left and right. But the middle is nothing. It shouldn't operate in the middle. This one only operates in the middle. And so I started looking into it, and someone at some point actually disconnected the reversing mechanism. I don't know why, but so anyhow, it's just how it goes, I guess. We've got everything under the sun except what I expect, I guess. Yeah, that's normal for the cause. But see, here we've got, I've got it at my transformer at 60 volts. I'm going to take it down here. Well, maybe not that low. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it takes off around 50 volts. Or, sorry, 50% on the transformer. But what I'm not seeing is, I'm not seeing the armature move up and down. It moves left to right a little bit, which that's normal. But it's not moving up and down. And that's the difference I'm seeing with all of these other ones. So I'm going to pause the camera and let's hook yours up and see if we can get it to respond at all. Okay, so I've got one lead from transformer there, the other one here. I've just separated this out to make sure I don't get any shorts, because the only, while the whole frame and wheels are grounded, the only way it picks up from the one side is by wipers on the outside of these wheels, and then they're insulated. And so I don't screw up the pickups here by putting my alligator clips on it. This is what I'm doing, just to explain. So if I put my transformer down, here it is all the way up, I just get nothing. And I have messed and messed and messed with this thing. It doesn't get warm, it doesn't. So anyhow, I'm just really struggling right now to know how to proceed, because I've diagnosed that all the parts are good. I've diagnosed that I've got a proper electrical continuity going from here to here to here through the brushes and back up. I've triple checked the armature. I've triple checked the field. Both of those are in spec. And so there is, the other thing that's a bit of a factor here, or an X factor, is this field can be slightly adjusted. So I've messed with that, and you want to be able to have an armature that spins freely, which yours does. And so anyhow, I'm just not sure what else to do. I cannot, I guess I'll just have to sleep on it, although I already slept on this. I started this project yesterday, so yeah, I'm not ready to quit, but I'm getting pretty close because I don't know what else to try. So the old tenacity kicked in. I couldn't let this thing go. I started trying some things, and I realized that there was an issue with completing the circuit. I was having trouble getting the ground to show up when I do continuity. I could get continuity all the way through except the ground most of the time. Once in a while it would show up. And on these silly things, I'm going to use this one. This is mine. The only way that they ground, Flyer did the ground, was this pin that goes through this copper part, which is part of the switch, and goes into the frame, and that completes the circuit. Shame on you, Flyer. This is a terrible design. Terrible. So I took your switch apart and I polished up the copper or the brass really good all the way around. And I hope you're not mad, but this is what happened. Now, the thing I'm not crazy about is I actually have to put a little bit of pressure inward on the switch to get it to make contact. I just don't know if, once I put it back together, if it's, if it's gonna behave itself or not. And you can see, hopefully, the armature. Let's see, maybe this side's a little better. You can see how it's bouncing around there. That's something else I was telling you about, how they just flop around in there once they get worn, and that's not how they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be pretty tight in terms of vertical motion. So anyhow, it looks like maybe I've well, I'm getting closer. Let's put it that way. The switch has still got some problems, and I'm hoping that there's a way I can maybe tighten up the rivet that's holding the front and the back plate together. I'm hoping. Yikes. Thing is, I'll have to take it apart again. And each time I take that pin out, I'm able to drive it out from the back side. But my concern is each time I take that pin off, I'm further jeopardizing the connection. I don't know, it's a soft cast metal. But yeah, this is now the next issue. So I guess we're kind of peeling the onion here, working backwards to figure out what is next here, and maybe that'll be the last thing, and this thing will run like we need it to. I'm glad it's working, because this thing really took took a lot of energy to figure out. But Mike, looks like we got a reversing handcar, completely rebuilt, new field, new armature, and pretty much torn down and rebuilt to get this thing to work for you. And it's behaving pretty well. It's a little bit sluggish going this direction. Sometimes that switch doesn't want to quite work, and I don't quite know why. But helps when the handle's hooked up. Anyhow, I'll get that hooked up for you. But all right, one more project down.